welcome to the right side. I'm Renee Wright. Today is 5 Tip Tuesday. So I wanted to share some strategies with you how to have healthy conflict, healthy disagreement, healthy arguments with people because you cannot avoid it. You cannot avoid having a disagreement with someone. It's healthy in some instances. You're supposed to disagree so you guys can learn more about what the topic is, or you can teach more about what the topic is. But today I'm gonna give you 5 tips that I hope you choose to employ when you're in a dispute. And that's with any kind of dispute in any kind of relationship, whether it's romantic, friendship, teammates, co-workers, anyone that you have conversations with regularly. So my first tip would be to stay on topic, and that's key. Stay on topic, because sometimes you'll be in a dispute with a topic slider, and a topic slider will always try to introduce these new ideas and these new conflicts from the past or future conflicts. But stay on task. If the topic that they're introducing, if you want to talk about it, you guys can make kind of a rule. I know it sounds simpler, just to say it, but you can agree to talk about that after you resolve the current conflict, or you could do it in reverse. That way a person doesn't feel dismissed and you're still working towards what you're trying to work towards in the current dispute or conflict. But in the same token, stay on topic. So when you are making sure that you heard the person you're speaking with, and when you go to summarize what you said, don't add extra stuff in there that you're assuming. Don't make an assumption. If they say, well, I went to the store and I was late doing this because of that, don't say, well, your trifling self went to the store and you're late because you was on the phone. Is that what you're saying? No, that's not what they're saying. If you're going to summarize, stay on topic, leave the trifling out, leave the phone out. If you're going to summarize what they say exactly what you think that they were saying without adding the extra adjectives and descriptions in there. Because if this is a relationship that you really want to have grow and you really want resolution, you have to go into it clean. You got to go into it ready to actually discuss this topic, and then be fair enough to be able to discuss if they want to introduce another topic. But you got to have some rules, have a goal in mind, go for the goal. The second thing I want to say is don't internalize. So if you're having a conversation and they say something that may hurt your feelings, don't internalize that. It could be because they're being cruel. It's all kinds of reasons. But if you know who you are, they can't insult you. So every time that they say something that is meant to hurt you, just assume that they said you smell like peanut butter. How about that? Because you don't, so it doesn't bother you. It'll just bounce right off of you. Assume they said the most ridiculous thing that you can imagine and go right past it. Don't internalize their comment. Don't defend yourself against their comment. Just go, you have a goal in here. So stick with your goal. Don't internalize everything. If you want to discuss it, how you felt later, you have to now go deal with that by yourself before you can discuss it now, because you aren't prepared for that thing that they brought up, the other person brought up. And then you'll just get sidetracked again. So you can't internalize. You just have to let it bounce off of you. Like I said, assume they say you smell like carrot sticks, and assume that's a good thing, and just keep on going. Just keep on going. The other thing is don't entrap. Be open in this communication. Remember, this is someone who you care about. This is someone who you want to connect with, grow with. Don't entrap. Don't have information and withhold it and then go into that conversation to wait for them to lie. I knew you were going to lie. I knew it. Well, why would you go into that conversation? That's sabotage. That's self-sabotage. You really want this to grow. So be open and just go from there. I know that you're the one who took the cookie out the refrigerator because it's on camera and I saw you. Now, what I want to know is, instead of, do you know who took the last cookie out the refrigerator? Should we get an investigation? Just go ahead. Listen, I already know you took the cookie out the refrigerator, but it has to be a factual thing that you know. Don't just assume, I saw a cookie crumb by your shoe, so I'm assuming that you took it. No, really don't entrap. Just go ahead there, be open with the truth, and say, this is what I know, this is what I'm working from. All right, let's go. All right? Control your anger. Don't meet their anger with anger. That will not resolve anything. Don't Don't try to control your anger. And not only that, try to de-escalate the situation so you can have a conversation. And people are going to get hurt, people are going to get upset if it's a very emotional kind of connection and it's an emotional disagreement, but you want resolution. You don't want a bigger fight to fight about, in an hour or tomorrow. You want resolution. So de-escalate. Try to control your anger. Think of anything that you can. And that actually leads me into the fifth point is be prepared to retreat. Be prepared to leave this conversation, but leave it in a place where it can be picked up later. Leave it without conceding anything. You don't have to admit to anything. You don't have to accuse. Just say, this is not being productive. And if we can't have a productive conversation, why don't we hold off until we both calm down? Now, I can tell you right now, there's people who do not want to do that. I was one of them. No, I want to talk about it right now. No. Meanwhile, I'm furious. I'm not thinking straight. I'm not focused. But I want to talk about it now because that's my way to be able to control everything. But if it's not going to get us to a good point, what's the point in talking to it now? Unless you're arguing over getting out of a burning building, it can wait a minute. It can wait a minute. And don't think that people are thinking of other stories to come up with. Just wait a minute. And then be honest when you go back into it. And you can agree to talk later. They may stomp off. You may stomp off. But you don't have to concede. And if you want to say this, I concede nothing. And then leave. You could do it later. These are relationships that have value to you. And if you want them, do you want to have a relationship that's always an argument and always this? Or do at some point you want to be able to say, you want to be able to meet in the middle of something or learn something from your friend or your partner, or you want to teach something? It's got to be a give and take. So if you're not willing to take a big step that may not be comfortable right now, but it will work for you in the long run. It works with everyone, with children and coworkers and spouses and friends, and it will work. You just have to stick with it. You have to stick with it. So again, to summarize, that is, stay on topic, don't internalize, don't entrap, control your anger, and be ready to retreat. Be ready to retreat to pick it up at another time. All right, so let's just have some happiness going forward. Let's have good, healthy debate and discussion going forward. Okay? Again, those 5 tips for Tuesday. I'm Renee Wright, and this is The Right Side. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe. Have a great day.